Hi, everybody. Pen here. I am using Zoom to do this live stream. I'm usually on my phone. We'll see how this goes. I am not seeing comments, so if you do jump on live saying hi, I might have to respond afterwards. Not that, I'm ignoring you or anything. So what is happening at uh last year, I've been with Hay House membership, and so for you to be able to submit a proposal to be a published author, you'll have to basically go through their membership and then follow their procedures, guidelines to submit your proposal. I've been actually wanting to do this since last year, since the last submission. I missed it. And this one is coming up next month. And I've decided to actually not do it. There are many reasons to that. One is that I feel, intuitively that is not the timing right now. And when it comes to writing, although I have been writing almost every day, I try to be consistent, at least 3 pages a day, whether it's in the morning or at night. I prefer to do it in the morning, based on Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, and you write 3 pages of the morning journal. And that hasn't been working very well according to just my not regular schedule with my kids and babysitting schedule changes and everything. So that writing has been more towards nighttime, before I go to bed. And so that's been really helping me just to write, but not at a point where I'm an author yet. And for me to feel really aligned is if I actually be consistent with writing blog posts to start. And with AI's help, of course, that's going to be helping me with my writer's block. And I have a lot of ideas. It's just sometimes because I have too many ideas and too much content to share that I get stuck. I feel like it's content constipation, I call it. Even though I do use Trello, which is one of my favorite apps for organizing things, I just anything I have ideas of or things that I want to write about, I would just, type it into my Trello board and then kind of just organize it that way. And so my plan is to actually be consistent with regular blog posts on two of my websites. This is another thing that has been stopping me from moving forward, whether it's publishing a book or just free content on social media, website, is that I have two businesses. And I've thought about this maybe in the future, maybe next year or so, I'll combine the two businesses. But right now, at this stage, I'm not ready to combine the two businesses. Right now is my travel business, which is actually two businesses in one, and my coaching business. So right now, completely different target market, clientele, and just not really the same right now where I'm going at with this. So I'm keeping them separate. And I know, is everybody recommends that you start with one and then be able to generate like a following, known for that one area before you add other things. I know some content creators, mentors, they have many different products that are like very more broad than specific, but that's later on. I know they all start with one product, right? But for me right now, it is going to be two. And I know it's going to be a lot to maintain two websites, two contents, but they're overlapping a little bit. And there are creators, authors that actually use blog posts that have done over the years, even though they've gotten millions of views on their website, on their blog, they ended up publishing books with basically their blog post. And maybe 70 to even 80% of the content is really the same as their blog post. But their book still became number one, best-selling author. They still sold millions of copies in different languages. So this way, I think, is more authentic for me to do rather than just jump right into the publishing book route with Hay House as much as I kind of want it. But then after I made the decision of, okay, I'm going to submit my book proposal, and then I feel like, okay, this doesn't feel right with me. So I'm gonna wait on that a little bit, and maybe next year or so I'll be ready for it. And one of the suggestions that was given to me by Reed Stacy, the CEO of Hay House, is to actually teach the content in the book that I'm planning on publishing with them. So whether it's going to be a course or whether it's going to be free content like podcast or blog or YouTube or something, you start sprinkling the content to everybody before it's actually being written in a book. And I think that's a really great suggestion. I kind of wanted to really kind of get, just letting other people see it, test it out, get a feel of what it's like before it goes out like that. And another one of their requirements is to have a large following. The following part of the requirement, it was really not a requirement. They will prefer you have a larger followings because when it comes to marketing and distributing a book, it'll be, better once the book is out if you already have a following. And I have no problem with that aspect of things. And they've had accepted and people have won the contest when it comes to publishing with them that some of them don't have a large following, but it still worked for them. And so that's why I'm waiting on that. And if you have been following me, I don't know if you even remember, but I did share that that's one of my goals is to submit this by June. And I'm gonna just postpone that for a little bit while I work on the traveling business and building up the coaching business, and then eventually somehow like overlap a little bit. But it's almost like, so two businesses separate, but then there's a area where they overlap. So that's how it's going to be. And I guess if you're interested in my journey, continue follow me and see what I have to share. And in the meantime, we'll stay connected and I will be on tomorrow. Have a great day. Okay. Was I even recording?